Radha Ramana Hari Govind Jai Jai.
Talking about Nam Tattva, the holy name. I already talked about this to some extent. And we discussed that Krishna and Krishna's holy name, they're not different from each other. Like we're singing Harinama Tua Aneka Sarupa. In this song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's celebrating the fact that Krishna's holy name is performing all the pastimes, Krishna's pastimes in Braj. Which seems a little surprising at first because we're thinking that that the name is separate from the one who's named. But Thakur Bhaktivinoda is making this point from his own realization that actually Harinam and Krishna are not different at all. This is the most important thing for us to understand. Second offense against the holy name is to think that Krishna's holy name and Krishna himself are different. Theoretically we can understand that. The test is when we're chanting. If Krishna himself came into the room, what will we do? But when the holy name comes, we're chanting the holy name, what happens? Oh, very casual. This is a problem. This is namaparad, offense against the holy name. Krishna has two kinds of names. Primary names and secondary names. Gauna Nam, Mukhi Nam. The primary names are names like Krishna, Govinda, Madhusudan, and the names in Vaikuntha also, Vishnu, Narayan. All of these are actually names for Krishna. So these names are coming from the spiritual world, and they relate to pastimes and qualities of Krishna in the spiritual world, the transcendental names. These are the primary names. And the secondary names, these are like Ishvara, Paramatma, God, Allah, like this. These are names from our point of view describing the Supreme Lord. So the first names, the primary names, these are transcendental. And the secondary names, they also have some power, but not as much as the primary names. Krishna puts all his energies in his names. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shishikshashtaka, he said, Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. You've put all your energies in the Lord's holy name. But the names of the Lord have as much power as the form. So for example, if we chant Hare Krishna, that will produce one result. If we chant Kurma, 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 this is also a transcendental name of the Lord. The tortoise form of the Lord is transcendental form completely. Although he appeared here in this material world. But still, the potency of Kurmadev is not the same as the potency of Krishna in Braj. Or, to put it more accurately, actually it's the same person. Kurma is not separate from Krishna. Ramadi Murti Kalani Amena Tishtan. Krishna himself is appearing in the different incarnations, like in the Dasavatara Stotra. Sri Jayadev Goswami's song for the 10 avatars, he's saying Keshava Drita Meena Sharira. Keshava, you've taken up this form of the fish incarnation. Keshava Drita Kurma Sharira. You've taken up the form of Kurma, the turtle incarnation. Keshava Drita Narahari Rupa. You've taken up the form of Nrsimhadev. So it's the same personality, but he's appearing in different forms and with different potencies also. So the potency of each holy name is equivalent to the potency of that particular form. So the potency, for example, of the Vaikuntha deities like Nrsimhadev, Brahadev, Kurma, they cannot give Braj prem. Because their devotees don't relate with them in the same way as the Brajvasis do. So therefore, the Mahamantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, this is Krishna in Braj. Brajendra Nandan Krishna. And Ram means Radhika Ram. Radhika Ramana. Krishna who's performing Raman, beautiful pastimes with Srimati Radhika. This is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And this Braj mantra, that delivers the highest goal. When it's chanted under the direction of a pure devotee, means devotee, Brajrasic devotee. So holy name, it destroys sins, it destroys prarabdha karma. Classic example of Ajamil. Ajamil was due to die. But when he saw the Yamadutas coming, then he called out Narayan for his son. And just by calling out Narayan, so the Vishnu Dutas came, but because he called Narayan, his karma was finished. And instead of dying at that time, he found himself still alive. Yamadutas left, and he had time to go to Haridwar. And there he chanted the holy name in all seriousness. And after some time, the Vishnu Dutas came again with a flower aeroplane and took him back to Vaikuntha. So it destroys prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means this body is prarabdha karma. It means karma which is appearing now. This body is prarabdha karma. My situation, my intelligence, everything is prarabdha karma. Whether we're beautiful or ugly, this is prarabdha karma. Intelligent or stupid, that's prarabdha karma. Rich or poor, all this is prarabdha karma. Chanting the holy name destroys prarabdha karma. It destroys all karma, all stages of karma. There's 4 stages. There's this karma which is now appearing. And there's karma, if we perform material activities now, that will have a result in the future. That's aprarabdha karma. It hasn't borne fruit yet. And then there's bij. Bij means the seed. This is desires. So for example, supposing a thief, he goes past a jeweler's shop and he sees there's a beautiful necklace in there. Every day he goes past a jeweler's shop and he's seeing this necklace and his mouth's watering more and more and more. And in the end he makes a plan. So the desire to steal or the desire to possess that necklace, that's bij. He hasn't yet acted, but he will do. And then kut, before that, there's the seeds which are lying like in the subconscious. They haven't yet had a chance to sprout. For example, a young boy, a young girl, they have no sex desire at all. They can run naked themselves. They can see men, women naked. Absolutely no reaction at all. But there will be. When they grow up, then those seeds will come. So before they've even appeared, that's kut. And then when there's desires, that's bij. Prarabdha karma is the results of activities. Aprarabdha karma means it's the results of activities that we're doing now, which will bear fruit later. All of this is destroyed by chanting the holy name. All. So even impersonal meditation, that can destroy the seeds of karma, and it can destroy aprarabdha karma. It can remove karma in the future, but still you have to suffer prarabdha karma. So chanting the holy name is so powerful. Purifies the performer, purifies the family. Families are complaining sometimes, becoming devotees, you go mad, disgrace to the family. Why don't you get married? Why don't you go out and get drunk like normal people? So these complaints we have to tolerate. And like it said that a Kanishtadikari purifies his family for 3 generations back and 3 generations forward. Even they're not born yet, but they will be purified. Majjhimadikari what? 7, 14 and 21. Yeah, like this. It gives more pious activity, it gives more benefit than all pious activity we can imagine. If you give mountains and mountains of gold in charity at the time of an eclipse, or give millions and millions of cows, you live in the holy dham for millions of years. All of that isn't equal to the credit that you get, pious activity that you get by chanting the Lord's holy name. Because that credit is transcendental credit. It's not ordinary material pious credit. In Shri Shikshashtakam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's explained that there's 7 benefits in the chanting of the holy name. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha dabhagni nivarpanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnam vritasvaranam sarvatma snapanam parang vijayate Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So, Cheto darpana marjanam, it cleanses the mirror of the heart. Now the heart's dirty, and we can't see ourselves as we really are. Like if you look in the mirror and it's dirty, you can't see yourself. So we can't see ourselves. Like you ask somebody, devotee, who are you? Don't know. We can't see ourselves. We don't have realization yet. But by chanting, that dirt will be removed, and actually in the mirror of the heart we'll see Sarup, we'll see the spiritual form. This will come. Bhavamaha davagni nivapana. So it extinguishes the fire of material existence. Now we're suffering. All material entities are suffering, taking birth again and again, suffering from birth, disease, old age, and death. But chanting the holy name, it extinguishes that blazing fire. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. So the chanting the holy name, it's like the moon like in India, there's lilies and there's lotuses. So lotuses open in the sunlight during the daytime. And lilies, they open in the moonlight. Very, very beautiful scent. So this Nam Sankirtan, it's like the moonlight that very gently opens up the lotus of the heart. The lotus of good fortune. What is that good fortune? Of Bhava Bhakti. The whole purpose of performing sadhana is to attain bhava. That we'll discuss in a minute. So this chanting the holy name, this opens the lotus of bhava bhakti. Vidyavadhu jivanam. So it's the life and soul. Vadhu jivanam. Vadhu means the consort. Ultimately means Krishna. Vadhu. The holy name is Krishna, and Vadhu, that refers to Srimati Radharani. So it's the life of Srimati Radhika. She's real knowledge. Bhakti is knowledge, it's the supreme knowledge. Then, Anandam Buddhivardhanam. It expands the ocean of bliss. Not only the ocean of bliss for the individual living entity, but for Krishna as well. Krishna himself becomes so enlightened. This bhakti and chanting the holy name, it has the power to enliven and inspire the Supreme Lord himself. That's his mercy, that he appears in his name and then he makes himself available to the jivas in this way. It enables us to taste nectar at every step. Nectar, what is nectar? Nectar means, literally the word nectar, comes from the Greek, it means you become immortal. And amrit, this word amrit, that also means amritam, no death, immortal. So, mortality means the endless cycle of birth and death, going one thought after another, one impression after another. But when we're chanting the holy name, actually chanting the holy name, not just the shadow, chanting the holy name is situated in the spiritual world. Then, that is the position of immortality. So tasting nectar, we can think that, this is selfish. We're looking for enjoyment for ourselves. No. Sarvatma snapana. It purifies the self completely. It gives the bhav of the Brajbasis. Brajbasis, they're so completely fixed in Krishna consciousness, they have no desire for their own enjoyment. Simply they want to please Krishna. So this chanting of the holy name, it removes all desires for any kind of selfish enjoyment. Sarvatnasnapanam parang vijayate. Parang vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Jai means glory, and it also means victory. So why victory? Because when there's victory, there has to be defeat as well. So Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana means that the holy name should be victorious and our false ego should be defeated. Vijay. Vijay means complete victory. It means the holy name should take over completely. Not like in the British Commonwealth, the Brits were here in UK, and the people in the various colonies, they were sending taxes and so on. This is one kind of victory. Vijay means you occupy the place. Everyone becomes slaves. So we should become slave. Our false ego should become slave to the holy name. This blessed slavery we want. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Then he says, now Namakari Bahudani Jisa Vishaktis. You put all your energies in the holy name. And there's no hard and fast rules for chanting. You can chant at any time. One time, Narada Muni met a farmer. So the farmer was all the time looking after his oxen. His oxen were threshing seeds, grain. So Narada Muni said to the farmer, look, you should chant the holy name. You should chant the holy name of Ram. And the farmer said, I don't have time. Either I'm eating, and if I'm not eating, I'm working. So he said, well, while you're working, you can chant the holy name. He said, no. Because if I'm not talking all the time to the oxen, they'll just stop, or they just eat the corn. So Narada Muni thought, okay, so you're eating, or working, or sleeping. Oh, but when you go to the toilet, you could chant the holy name then. Father said, yeah, okay. So he agreed. Okay, when he went to the toilet, he'd chant Ram's name. So Hanuman, one day he's flying through the sky and he hears this kirtan, Ram. Hanuman's in ecstasy. He's like, oh, who's chanting the name of my Lord like this? So he comes jumping down. Oh! And he sees the farmer squatting in the bushes. He's horrified. Hanuman is so strong. So he leapt back with his foot, gave him such a kick, and nothing happened. He's astounded. And he went on to Ayodhya to see Ram. And today Ram wasn't in the palace. He wasn't in his throne. So he asked, where's Ram? Oh, he's sick today. So he went into Ram's bedroom, and Ram's lying in bed. Oh. Hanuman said, what's happened? Ram said, oh, someone kicked me. Someone kicked you? Where is that rascal? Who was it? Ram said, you. So then Hanuman understood two things. First of all, that the Lord's holy name and the Lord himself are not different from each other. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that the holy name can be chanted anywhere. Of course, we shouldn't deliberately commit offenses, but the holy name can be chanted, and it should be chanted anyway. Thakur Bhaktivinoda said we should chant the holy name, even when we're eating, we should chant the holy name. And if we do that the whole time, gradually then we'll also be chanting when we're asleep as well. Jai Go Premanandi.